love it when you call me Big Schmuck, but throw your hands in the air if you're a true player. So you want to play Howitzer, CEO of Amida Booth Pack Industries.
Hit the gas, pull the trigger, yeah!
I got you. You see, Howitzer is a control mage. They specialize in controlling the battlefield. He can start fights, end fights, provide peel for your backline, and support for your front line. Howitzer is quite simply the maestro of the battlefield. Howie's passive is Armed Salvo. Howitzer's next basic attack deals 25 plus 30% bonus magical damage scaling around the target. Howitzer restores 10% of the damage dealt as mana, increased to 50% against enemy heroes. Armed Salvo's cooldown is reduced by 5 seconds each time Howie uses an ability. Honestly, it's a pretty good passive. Have an empowered auto attack every 10 seconds or so in lane early game, it's useful. Another thing that isn't mentioned is that Howitzer's basic attacks deal about 20% of the total damage around his targets, so it's kinda like he has a cleave. Howitzer's Q, R2000 missile, is a rocket that explodes on impact, dealing a maximum of 270 base damage and has 75% magic damage scaling. It also has a small little AoE around it. I recommend you use this ability on quick cast so that it doesn't mess up your combo. And also, if you're having a hard time hitting someone, just aim right at their feet. You'll get them. Howitzer's E is Landmine, lava mine that will explode 2.5 seconds after landing or when reactivated, dealing up to a maximum of 200 magic base damage, and it has a 45 magic damage scaling. It knocks back enemies in the area and Howitzer himself if they're caught in the blast. Now this might be Howitzer's most versatile ability. It can really help you get out of sticky situations and avoid enemy aggression, like this. It's why people don't even like to gank Howitzer. He's so safe. Howitzer's right click is slow grenades. Launch a cluster of proximity bombs that explode when an enemy enters their zone, dealing a maximum of 150 magic base damage with 25% magic damage scaling. They slow for a maximum of 35%. Hits on the same target deal 30 maximum base damage with 6% magic damage scaling. The slow is reapplied too. This ability really is Howie's bread and butter. Look here, as I completely zone out the enemy team while we take Fangtooth. They can't do anything about it, just take damage. Howitzer's ultimate is Make It Rain. He thrusts up into the sky, allowing Howitzer to move freely as he rains down a salvo of 12 missiles from above, dealing up to a maximum of 780 damage, with a 96% magic damage scaling over 30 seconds. Gets you out of jams, plus it does a shit ton of damage, so you're gonna get away, and they're gonna die. Plus it's just another thing to add to Howitzer's mobility, like in the Fangtooth and Orb Prime pits, you can just alt and escape. Now Howitzer is very dominant in the laning phase, but sometimes there's going to be a lane where you can't always be the aggressor. So you notice how I leave the melee minions up so that I don't shove the wave too hard. Right now I'm trying to wait for the river buffs to spawn so I can have an advantage in lane. I zone off the enemy Howitzer from the wave by throwing my slow grenades. He's too afraid to come up now because he'll take unnecessary damage. I'm blocking him. I take my time. 30 seconds is when the river buffs are going to spawn. So now I want to shove the wave. I'm hitting the range minions because they're the ones doing the most damage. I keep zoning off this Howitzer from the wave. He backs up now because my wave is coming too. I'm pushing him back in the tower. I'll take bad trades knowing I'm gonna get the river buff before him. Pop a potion. Pop the slow so you can't follow. I go grab buff. Securing my advantage. You see, I look in the map and I see that the river buffs are a little over halfway. So I know they're about to spawn in, let's say, 30 seconds. So now I'm trying to shove this Howie in. I take my pot shots. I miss one, but hey, I get it back soon. I beat him to level 6. I slow him to guarantee that I land my missile on him. That's how you start your trades with Howitzer in the early game. You want to throw your slow grenades, maybe land your passive and hit him with the free rocket. So I poked him out of lane. He sees me go for the left river buff. He thinks the right one is safe. Well, he could have got away from Chimera, but not me. You want to force your opponents in awkward scenarios like that by forcing pressure on them and around the map. Against this Bellica, I try to go for the classic level 1 trade. Slow grenades into autos. Really, I should have led my slow grenades up and continued autoing her, but nonetheless, we still end up even on this. Bellica comes up for a trade with me. I slow her, creep into the jungle, realizing she has the level lead. She takes a bad trade. I get level 3 and realize river buff is up in 15 seconds. Immediately I go for a trade with Bellica. Missing my Q because I'm trash. Doesn't matter. She still takes a bad trade. I play the right side, waiting for river buff to establish my lead in lane. I'm walking up, remember the mistake I made before. I don't do it again. I slow her out of her rocket for guaranteed poke. I try to go in for a quick trade with Bellica, but she places drone down, so I can't. But wait, pop! She doesn't know I got the range. You want to take advantage of Howie's range in situations like this where you can't be the aggressor. Mid-game, you want to roam heavily and force objectives. Howitzer can do that because his wave clear is superior. Pop ice score in here, and I guarantee a tower. Walk around like it's no one's business. I'm out. Sight. Someone won't let me. So that's when I have to zone and peel for myself and my team. It's the mid game. I just push mid in. I could take the tower, but I look right and I notice that Howitzer is low after a gank. Knowing that his tower is low, I'm thinking he'll come around and try to save it. I catch him slipping. Draws down. I'm still going for my main objectives, which is this gank. Remember, mid game, roam objectives. Roam objectives. Another one caught lacking. Schmopped. I push right side, seeing we got an advantage. The carry's not up. Fangtooth is coming. It's the mid game, so it's time for objectives. Chimera starts it. I see that the river buff is up. I can't let this guy have it. Come on now. I try to zone him off. He walks straight through the mines and I peek to make sure no one else is coming. Alright. Easy Fangtooth. I'm spam pinging so right will come. They don't come. Hey. Sometimes it is what it is. I'm trying to peel for this guy, knowing he's schmuck. As much as we want to keep everybody alive, man, we can't always do that. Sometimes they gotta go. Remember, objectives are their #1 priority in the mid game. I pop ice guard so no one escapes. I make sure everyone gets out safe and I clean up. Easy clap. Now in the late game, every fight you take is to end. Narbash makes a pick. I smack him back. Then I use ice guard so no one else can follow and save him. But he flashes. I nuke the whole team. Sparrow now. Narbash go in. Right now, I'm zoning her. That's my job is done. I'm just here to zone you. I'm just here to facilitate for the carry. Just picture Howitzer as, you know, the second support that nukes you. Sparrow gets a triple and you can bet your ass that all those were my assist. Remember, we played it in and we don't waste time. I pop Ice Crown one more time for extra damage on the tower. Bellic is one shot. Oops, my bad. 2 shots. Now let's get this objective and dip. Next one. It's late game. Every engagement I make is serious. It's so I can end the game. I poke this Howie out. I still go forward so I can create an unfair advantage for the enemy team. I notice they have 2 of their tanks down. I'm ready to get Old Prime and dip. I poke Howitzer out. I poke Murdoch out. I'm still going in, doing what I can to bully them. Either get a kill or make them back. I'm ulting. I'm serious now. Murdoch gets a few lucky autos, thinks he can hang, changes his mind real quick. Either way, their team can't respond and we set up for Orb Prime. Now Howitzer has many crests to choose from. I mean, some are better than others, some are worse, but there's one that's the absolute best. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not Typhoon. You can go the troll attack speed build on Howitzer, but it's just not better than his burst damage or control style. Or you could flex and go the support role. I really don't recommend that either because Howitzer spends a lot of mana and he needs to be able to get gold in order to generate these expensive items for himself. You could either build Tranquility because of the cooldown and the mana regen, it works with you. Or you could go Leaf Song. Its active is very strong and it will get your carry out of situations, and really that's what you need. I will say this though, I don't recommend playing Howie support because you'll be stuck between picking you or your carry a lot of the time. Now if you're playing Howie mid and not trolling, I would say Epoch is probably his 3rd best crest. It can get you out some real sketchy situations like this. This Rick thought he had the sauce. Sorry, sir. Or when you're in the middle of your ult, you can pop it in the air and wait a few seconds for your cooldowns to go off and get out the situation. I'd say his 2nd best is Time Flux. The only issue is you gotta get real clever with it. I mean, look at this. Fat brain. Without a doubt, it's a no-brainer. His best crest is Ice Scorn. He's a control mage, so it provides so much more control for him. He can't dive me. He can't dive me. She can't dive me. Seriously. You've seen what it can do throughout the video. Extra damage when I need it. Extra pill when I need it. I got caught out. So much pill they can't continue. Bellica thinks she's saucing me right now. I think she caught me up. 1R. Ice Scorn in mid-air. Bonus movement speed lets me back up from her auto. Schmopped. Now the first item you rush, no matter what, is Megacosm. It has everything a mage would need except penetration. This item is busted. Now the second item is dependent upon you. You can go Time Winder so you can spam your abilities and for a lot of damage. Or you can go Caustica because your abilities do cost a lot of mana. Schmopped. A situational item that you're going to want to build 2nd or 3rd. It's probably going to be Tainted Scepter. Because let's face it, between Crunch, Chimera, Rampage, Narbash, or any pesky little carry that's healing too much, you're gonna need anti-heal. Another situational item you can build is Oathkeeper because it goes well with your basic attack combo and it gives cooldown and a lot of damage. But I only go this if I'm feeling very disrespectful. Probably better off just going Pin, but sometimes you just don't care. Now the third situational item is Spellbreaker because sometimes there's just that countess that's going to be on you and you have to avoid them. There's only so much that you can do once you blow all your tools or there's going to be a Still, a Rampage, or a Richter pull waiting for you. You need to be able to avoid it. It offers good enough CD and damage, so the item's not even that bad. Howitzer has a few counters in this game. Bellica stops him from spamming his abilities. Richter has his pull, Rampage has his rock, and Still because it's Still. Maybe you could count Kalari and Countess, but Spellbreaker and Ice Scorn really kind of take care of those two. Hopefully this guide helped you learn a lot, and with these tools you can start to get real disrespectful like your boy Big Schmuck. Damn, man. I know this Richter's in his feelings. This could be you someday. Let me know in the comment section if I can improve or anything. If you guys like the video, give it a like. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. It's your boy Big Schmuck. I'm out.